Hey, hello, long time no see. Welcome back to Wheels of Mercury. And today, I'm going to do a full album review. I haven't done a full album review since Asking Alexandria's Where Do We Go From Here released last year. This time though, I'm going to do my favorite progressive metal band of all time. And that is Leprous, with their album Melodies of Atonement that just got released on August 30th, 2024. So, a little back history for those of you who do not know Leprous. They formed back in 2001 in Notodden, Norway, or Notodden, or however you say it. I'm not Norwegian, so I don't know how to say the town name right probably. Apologies for that. Several of the members actually started out in the backing band for Esson, who is the guitarist and songwriter behind the legendary Norwegian symphonic black metal band Emperor. So for the first 4 albums, Leprous played a very complex and kind of extreme metal adjacent style of progressive metal that was all their own, led by the insane operatic range of singer Einar Solberg. If you want a comparison for their style, for their old style anyways, think of a band like Opeth, but with the folk elements removed and replaced with tiny bits of black metal and 90s alternative metal like Tool and Korn. Hopefully I did my best with that description because their old sound is very, very hard to describe. And my personal favorite of those 4 albums is Bilateral from 2011, which is an amazing record that you should definitely check out if you haven't already. However, that all changed in 2017 with the release of their album Malina. They switched all of a sudden to a progressive art rock / art pop style, while still quintessentially Leprous at heart. This change divided fans who were more of a fan of her heavier stuff. I will admit that personally, Melina took a bit getting used to when I first heard it, but now I really love the album these days. I also enjoyed the 2019 album Pitfalls and the 2021 effort Aphelion, with the former album really connecting with me at a very deep and personal level. So, after Einar's solo record last year called 16 and the recent release of this one, where does it leave Leprous? And what do I think of this new album? So there is good news for older fans. They brought back some of the heaviness from albums like The Congregation and Cold. The opening track, Silently Walking Alone, has a chorus that reminds me of some of the best moments from Cold. A personal hot take for me that I have about Einar is that I don't like his screams as much as his amazing singing voice, but he does use a scream at the right time on Like a Sunken Ship, which will certainly get old fans talking again, even if just for a moment. Also, I love the way that song calls back to the eeriness and the dramatic flair of some of the tracks off of Bilateral. However, they are still experimenting with other genres outside of progressive rock and metal. Along with the electronic influence of Einar's synthesizer work and beats, there are actually influences from jazz due to the stand-up bass and piano during the verses of the song Faceless. That song later morphs into a typical Leprous-style progressive metal song, so it kind of makes it a very genre-less track. And the part where the heavy guitars come in and the drummer Bard Kolstad does doing a rolling thing with the snare and Einar starts going off, it's so freaking good. And I also like, that I did not add in my notes, I also like the fan choir that was in that song too, that is going, never be alone, never be alone, never go alone, never go alone. So good. Speaking of Bard, I have heard criticisms of them using a world-class drummer like him too little. And I don't disagree with that take, but Bard serves every song well in here. In my opinion, he is complex only when he needs to be. And I would argue that that's the sign of not just a great drummer, but a great musician as well. My least favorite song on the record is Self-Satisfied Lullaby, because it drags quite a bit. It's not a bad song by any means, but the experimental wall of sound sections, for lack of a better word, when they sing So Satisfied Lullaby, la 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 la, those parts really drag for me. It's like the musical equivalent of trudging yourself through molasses, and you don't want to do that, do you? The swing grooves that they get into in the track Limbo is one of the coolest things I've heard all year. The last time I heard a rock and metal band do that was when the Atlanta-based pop metal band Issues did it with their song Flojo on their album Headspace. But I'd argue that Leprous do it way better, and I hope that one will be played live. It would go so hard. I do miss the presence of Unofficial Cellist Raphael Wainwright Brown that played such a vital part to the atmosphere of Melina, Pitfalls, and Aphelion. But I understand also that the band wanted to go in a different direction. And besides, Raphael probably pretty busy with his other projects, including the Canadian neo-folk band Must Ox. So I am okay with Raphael not being around Leprous for this record. Overall, for my first numerical score in over a year since my Asking Alexandria review, and after hours and hours of thinking it over and listening to this new record, I am going to give Melodies of Atonement by Leprous a 4 out of 5, and that is a wrap. Yeah, as I said, this is my first album review in a year, and it might not be the last I do this year, because Vola is also coming out with their new album either in October or November, I forget which month. And I might do a full album review for that, but I can't promise that it will happen or not. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I am hoping that it happens. Press subscribe if you want to subscribe to Wheels of Mercury. And there's 2 other videos that you can check out beside my head. Rock on, guys, and I will see you in the next video.